to get away, start again, find a brand new day. So much for me to find, but I've got to go outside. Hello Van fans, welcome to another episode of VFFs Vanlife podcast. How are you? Wow, we are coming to the end of season 1 of VFFs, and what a season it's been. I mean, I've spoken to so many wonderful people, and what can I say? It's just been amazing. I actually ended up driving all the way across Europe to Bulgaria because of this podcast. I never would have done that if it wasn't for doing VFFs. The next episode is going to be a little recap of everything that's happened in the last 14 episodes. So there's going to be some nice memories and a little bit of commentary about the guests. So check that out next week. And after that, we are done until September. So going to be taking the summer off to make VFFs bigger, better, and come back strong for season 2. If you have any suggestions, please get in touch with me. My listener base is small enough that your voice really can make a difference. Tell me where I can improve things. Tell me things that you'd like to hear more about. I'd like to do some episodes about how to get into van life and things like that for anyone that needs help with conversions and van builds and stuff like that. I've been involved in 2 builds so far, so I think that I can probably put some valuable information out into the world. So let me know what you think about that, if you'd like to hear more of that kind of thing. If you do have 10 seconds spare and you use iTunes, if you wouldn't mind just rating VFFs 5 stars, that would be so nice. If you don't mind, I would really appreciate that. Next season, I'm really excited. I've got some amazing guests lined up already. I've got some awesome products as well that I'm going to be trying out for you guys. So I'm super excited for that. As I said, if there's anything you want to talk to me about, if you have any ideas, if you want to get involved, whatever it is, you can email me at vffspodcast@gmail.com, which is vffspodcast@gmail.com. Well, what can I say? The weather has been so nice the last few weeks. What a difference it makes being out in a van in this weather. You can actually go outside, which is quite nice. I've just been swimming every day. I've been out hiking. I've just been chilling out in the van. Although I have moved to Cornwall and I do have a room there, I'm basically just living in my van and going home to do the washing and have a shower every now and then. So I'm just absolutely buzzing. Me and my mum went on an amazing trip with my niece, Emily, as well. We all went off on a little trip. We spent the first night on Dartmoor and we made a campfire and we had a barbecue. It was just so nice. It was so nice to spend time with people that I really love and just make some memories. It was really lovely. My mum is absolutely loving her van. She is on top of the world. She's absolutely buzzing about it. She's more hardcore than I am. She'll sleep anywhere. She doesn't give a shit. That's just been awesome. And after that, we went up to Bude again, found some really, really gorgeous places to park. We actually met up with Gavin, who is today's guest. I spent the night annoying him in his van because I really needed to get away from my family just for like a few hours. So I basically positioned myself in his van and talked, basically, which is just what I'm quite good at. So it's a good thing I have a podcast, really. Yeah, so that was lovely. And then there were a couple of people there that had a fire pit. So we just went and sat with them and we played some music and the stars were beautiful. And what can I say? I mean, the weather has just been amazing. And like, what difference it makes when the weather is like this and you're in a van. I mean, it's like a whole new universe. So I hope that you're all out there just making the most of it, just enjoying having your van, hopefully going on some trips and stuff as well. So, as I said, today's guest is Gavin. Yeah, it turns out that there are actually men in vans as well. Gavin is a really good friend of mine. I met him when I was busking about maybe 10 years ago. We bonded over veganism and music, and he's a really lovely guy. He's a real character. He's a real larger than life, quirky, very nice person. He's great fun. It's my pleasure to share this interview with you guys. We actually play music together as well quite regularly, so the bonus feature for this episode is a little song that we performed, so I hope you enjoy that. So let me introduce Gavin officially. After an unexpected eviction from his home, Gavin decided to take the plunge, buy a van and go full-time. He converted his minibus into a cosy home and spends his time between Devon and Cornwall, playing music, seeing his family and getting as much cold water swimming in as possible. We talk about meditation, health and well-being, eco-friendly van conversions, amongst other things. So I really hope you enjoy this interview. It's the last one of the season, so I really hope you enjoy it. And without further ado, here is the interview with Gavin.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, Gavin, to VFFs. Thanks for coming on.
I am welcoming you to my van space where I live in luxury with my wood burner.
Yeah, I forgot how much of a performer you are. I was like, oh, he's been pretty laid back and tired. I don't know if he's up for this. And then as soon as the spotlight comes on, you're like, yes, welcome to my van.
Fantastic.
I haven't seen the Gavin the performer for ages because we haven't been able to perform. I forgot you were just like me. You just want attention.
There is that. I'm a bit of a whore for the old attention. Well, I suppose I am
who you are.
The younger brother, you see.
Oh, that's it.
So
if you're the baby, that's the problem,
Yeah, he came out and was all like, yeah, I'm the boss. And then I came out and well, they wanted a girl. My grandmother thought I was going to be a girl, so she made dresses for me. So I was actually, first years of my life, I wore dresses.
No, you didn't.
That explains a lot, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so basically, attention-seeking, van-dwelling musicians living the life of Riley.
Dear me, the life of luxury on a sunny afternoon by the river.
Exactly. We've just been in the river down here at wherever we are, wherever this river is in Devon.
So, how old are you, Gavin, and where are you from originally?
Okay, so I was born in the 60s, when the Beatles were doing their thing, fantastic, and all of that was going on, 1964, so I'm 57, and originally I was born in London, Islington. We lived kind of in like the Camden Town area, which I love. And then when I was 5, we moved up to Yorkshire. So I kind of got that bit of a Yorkshire accent probably still. And then, moved around quite a bit. So my parents were possibly a little bit nomadic like me. I live in my van. It's a VW LT35 54 plate and it's in fantastic condition. I bought it, it'd be 2 years in August, and then I moved into it full time in October 2019. So it'll be coming up for 2 years in October. Fitted it all out myself, insulated it, tried to use like ecological things like cork, although I have used other crap as well. I didn't want to use the foam, but I ended up foam filling the gaps and stuff, which I'm not very pleased about ethically, but there we go. That's life, a quandary of ethical decisions, trying to save my soul.
Yeah, because you're quite an eco-conscious person, aren't you? So was that important to you when you were doing your conversion?
Constantly. I've been vegan for about 20 years, and that informs everything I do, really. As a human being, I am consuming stuff. In order to survive, I consume. and destroy stuff. So I'm trying to destroy less. Eventually, I'm looking to buy some land so I can do less of that, really. Although I love living in the van, it's great. Much better than living in a house and paying rent and all of that stuff. You know, long term, I'd like to be living in a field. Well, we've just been in the river here swimming, and I was just like, fuck, I definitely want, you know, or a stream at least, where I can make like a pond where I can get in the water and get cold. Preferably somewhere in Cornwall, because basically I've got a daughter who lives in Cornwall who's 10, and I want to be close to her.
Why did you make the decision to move in to your van?
Yes, well, I have lived in vans before, like several years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. Off and on I've lived in vans, lived in vans. I had a, what's it called, VW T25 some years ago, lovely van. I bought that in Germany. It was made in 1988. Beautiful, the condition of it, ridiculously good. So I lived in that for a while, off and on. I had a girlfriend in Germany, so I'd travel over there, stay with her, live in my van. More recently, I had the Transit smiley face, high top, similar size to this LT that I've got now.
Smiley face?
Smiley face, yes. It's nicknamed the smiley face because at the front, the grille at the front looks like a smiley face. And it's got the banana, what they call the banana engine, which they talk about as being bulletproof. I had it, I did wood burner in that as well, and I'd done it out, double bed in the back. I kind of regret selling it, but now I've got this LT35, very similar size wood burner. I've done it much nicer than the Transit. It's much better condition. These VWs, the LT35, I would recommend them to anybody. I mean, if you can get a good one, because a bit like this, they're very similar to the Sprinters that were made in the 90s and 2000s. A lot of the parts are interchangeable with this LT35, but I think the build quality of the LT35 is better than the Sprinter. I prefer the design. And to answer your question, back in 2019, I was living in a cottage in Calstock in Cornwall. It was quite high rent. I was paying like $600 a month, and looked after the place. When I moved in, the place was mouldy, damp. I cleaned it, got rid of all the mould, painted it, fixed the gate and all this. And then for some reason in sort of August 2019, the landlady came up and gave me this envelope and said, "Oh, you won't thank me for that." And it was an eviction notice. It's called a Section 25.
Oh, God.
It's like really heavy duty. And if she'd just said to me, well, you know, I need the place, I want to sell it, I want to do whatever, fine, I would have moved out, no problem. I'd done the house up for her, painted it.
Oh my God.
Fixed the gate was, you know, all this. It was beautiful. In fact, when I moved out, she actually said, wow, she said to me I was shocked. The condition of it was so good. Anyway, got evicted, which was actually really good. So I do want to thank her on this blog right now. Thank you. Podcast, sorry. I don't know the difference. But basically, thank you, landlady, because I got this van, beautiful. I was very lucky with it. The underneath of it is immaculate, in fact.
Thanks for listening to this preview of VFF's Vanlife podcast. You can listen to the full episode at vffsvanlife.com/podcast. Hope you enjoy it. I've got to go outside. I've got to go outside. I've got to go